Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasatravो Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishnadeva Samuthitam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tishtati Vishwametadakilam He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sri Narayana, with blessings of Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji. We are continuing Bhagavad Gita. We finished sloka 8 in chapter 17 in the last session. We will continue from sloka 9 today. Okay. Please chant. Katvam lalavana
Katvam lalavana
Tikshna roksha vidahinaha
Ikshnarukshavidahina
Ahara rajasasyeshtaha
Ahararajasasyeshtaha
Dukkha sokamaya pradaha.
Dukkhashokamayapradha
Let's chant together.
Katvam lalavanatyushna Ikshnarukshavidahinaha Ahararajasasyeshtaha Dukkhashokamayapradha.
Jai Sriman Narayana. It is Katvamla Lavana Tyushna. Tyushnaha is not there. Misspoke, and I think the spelling mistake also there. Katvamla. Okay. Okay, so Lord Krishna is continuing to talk about the Shraddha, conviction, faith. Okay, that is of three types, right? That is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Okay, so primarily all these different faiths that basically define our character. If you see, like it is very, I mean, why are we talking about faith, conviction, right? It is basically defining our character, right? Our character in each of these categories is divided into three. Like what kind of food that we like is what Lord Krishna is now talking about. Is divided into three: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, right? So Lord Krishna spoke in the last sloka about the kind of food that sattvic people like. Does anyone remember the kind of food that sattvic people like to eat?
Rasyaha snigdaha.
Right. So yeah, the food that is promoting longevity, long life,
knowledge,
promotes knowledge, promotes strength, health, pleasure, I mean happiness, internal happiness. So what is that kind of food? That food is juicy, oily, nourishing, attractive to eat, right? So it gives mental peace and pleasure, and it will promote our long life, health, promote our happiness. Okay, so that is the kind of food that sattvic people eat, or that food is called sattvic food. Okay, the food that sattvic people like to eat is sattvic food, right? So basically it is natural and it is well prepared. Okay. Looks pleasing to eat. Okay. So after explaining about sattvic food or the food that sattvic people like to eat, Lord Krishna is talking about the Rajasic food or the food that Rajasic people like to eat. Okay. Or if a person is eating this kind of food or likes this kind of food, you can call that person as Rajasic. So it is defining the character or is defining that person based on the food that person eats, right? So Katwamla Lavana Ati Ushna. Okay. So Katu is bitter, Amla is sour, Lavana is salty, Ati Ushna is very hot or very cold also. So Ati either too hot or too cold. Okay. So okay. Then Tikshna Roksha Vidahinaha. Tikshna is very spicy or pungent. Roksha is dry. Okay. That causes thirst. And Vidahinaha, burning inside. Okay. That leads to sickness. Katva, Amla, Katu, Amla, Lavana, Ati Ushnaha, Tikshna, Roksha, Vidahinaha, Aharaha, foods, Rajasasya, Ishtaha, dear to the Rajasic people. Asya means wherever it comes, typically it denotes of, right? So dear to the Rajasic people. And what happens if we eat this kind of food? That leads to dukkha, shoka, amaya, pradaha. Produce pain, grief, and illness. Okay. So again, the kind of food, Rajasic food is bitter, sour, salty, very hot or very cold, very spicy, dry, burning when you eat. It is burning.
Ruksha is dry, sir.
Ruksha is dry and causing thirst. If we eat a lot of dry food, it basically causes thirst in us. That kind of food. Okay. So why do these people like to eat that kind of food?
The reaction.
Sense gratification.
Sense gratification. Very good. Yeah. So basically, materialistic pleasure, right? So if you just take a normal room temperature water and put your hand in it, you don't feel it, right? There's no uh, pleasure that you gain out of it, or you don't experience it. But if you put it in real hot water or real cold water, you will really feel it, right? You're experiencing it, you know. Uh, so those who want to experience the materialistic pleasures, they are looking for extremes for the senses, right? So very hot, very cold is one of them, right? You're experiencing it and you're enjoying it. Some people like very hot food or very hot temperatures. I mean, these people, you can extend it to temperature also. Hot food, there are very cold food. Normal room temperature food doesn't give them any kick. Very spicy, that also, it's very, they feel the taste buds, right? Materialistic pleasure that they experience it. And then same with the salty food. You're experiencing the that pleasure of that taste. So they're looking for materialistic pleasure. So that's where they are focused on eating the extremes. Okay, for their senses, right? The foods that cause extreme experiences. Okay, and basically with that, what happens is it leads to pain, grief, and illness. Our body is not suited for that kind of food, especially if somebody eats extremely spicy food for a long time. What happens?
Yeah, that becomes sick, right? It'll become burning with the stomach and all those things. Very soon become sick.
Yeah. So to the taste buds, it is that is giving that kind of a pleasure for those people who like it, of course. But when it goes into the body, it causes reaction. Maybe once or twice it's okay. Body, God gave us this body as fault tolerant, but it's fault tolerant only to a certain extent. We don't have millions of processors, which can uh, take over when one processor dies, right? So it is to a certain extent it is okay, but if it goes beyond limits, then it causes pain, sickness, and it gives sadness, grief, and all those, right? Okay, so that is about Rajasic food. 17th chapter is one of the chapters where we can directly, get how do we need to live our life, right? Direct, not talking too much about the theory of Atma and Paramatma and Prakriti and all that, right? It's directly bottom line, our character, what kind of character we have or we need to develop, and so differentiating the different characters, right? Characteristics of us or different convictions that lead to our personality. Personality is the right word. So that lead to a specific type of personality, and the type of personality that we need to develop is out of the three what?
Yes. What type of
Satvik, Rajasic, or Tamasic? Which one?
Sattvic.
Satvik. Right. Yeah. So we need to look at next sloka. Sloka 10. Please chant. यातयामं गतरसं
Yatayamam
यातयामं
gatarasam
गतरसं
पूतिपर्युषितं च यत्
Bhuti paryushitam chayat
पूतिपर्युषितं
उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यम्
Uchishtamapि
उच्छिष्टमपि
tyamedhyam
भोजनं तामसप्रियम्
Bhojanam
भोजनं
tamasapriyam
Tamasapriyam
तामसप्रियम्
Let's chant together.
yatayam
यातयामं
यातयामं
Yatayamam
गतरसं
gatarasam Bhuti paryushitam chayat
पूतिपर्युषितं च यत्
उच्छिष्टमपि चामेद्य
भोजनं
भोजनं
नामसप्रियम्
तामसः प्रियम्.
Samedhyam. Okay. So Lord Krishna is continuing about the tamasic food or food that tamasic people like to eat. Okay. See, the sattva, sattvic people, tamasic, rajasic people, and tamasic people are defined in Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, right? Who is sattvic person, rajasic person, and a tamasic person. Rajasic person is having the rajas as a dominant. Is rajasic person. Sattvic person is sattva quality is dominant. And we talked about the sattva quality, rajas quality, and tamas quality, their characteristics, right? And what kind of persons they will be, and all that we have learned in Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. So that tamasic person now, what kind of foods that they like to eat? Yatayamam, not fresh. Okay. Gatarasam, lost, that food that has lost natural taste, original taste. Puti is stinking, offensive smelling. Paryushitam, stale, foul tasting. Smell is bad, taste is bad. It is it has lost its natural flavor, natural taste. And because probably it is kept for a long time, it is not fresh, right? Then uchistam, that food which is left over after eating by others. So other people ate it and then it is left over. Okay, and then eating that leftover food is also tamasic. There is one exception, that is the acharyas, spiritual leaders, spiritual gurus, when they take a little bit from the from the bowl, and then rest is distributed to others. That is fine. But like say somebody ate in a plate, half of it is left over. Instead of throwing that food away, eating that food again is tamasic, or tamasic people like to eat that kind of food. Okay. Amedhyam is unholy, not fit for yajna. Okay. So not fit for yajna is not prepared as service to God. Another extension is food that is not prepared as service to God. Bhojanam tamasa priyam. Okay, that kind of food is dear to tamasic people. So tamasic person, what kind of quality they possess? Typically, tamasic people, they are careless, lazy,
Lazy,
and
no interest in any action.
sleepy.
doesn't follow
Yes.
shastras.
Yeah, careless, lazy, and sleepy. Lazy and sleepy are the main two characteristics of tamasic people, right? And they are careless and ignorant also. Okay, so They do not follow the scriptures, of course. All that will come, one after the other. So these people, lazy and sleepy, careless, ignorant people, obviously they eat that kind of food, right? So if one is lazy, they prepare the food, keep it outside for a long time, and even if it is not tasting good, smelling bad, they like to eat that kind of food. And unfortunately, that kind of food will give a reaction in the body, which will be tamasic also. See, Rajasic people, when they eat, it kind of gives them some kind of initial stimulus, right? So they feel suddenly stimulated because they are eating spicy, salty, that kind of food, right? That extremely hot or cold, it stimulates. So that kind of, it is in line with their character or personality. Tamasic people are lazy and sleepy, and so obviously this food is in sync with their personality. Okay, so the tamasic people like to eat this kind of food. So it promotes ignorance and delusion. Okay, so when we eat this kind of food, it promotes ignorance and delusion. Okay. So any food that is not prepared as service to God, and if you eat it, okay, in third chapter, Lord Krishna says that is
Stealing the food.
eating sin, right?
Yeah, eating sin.
Okay, so tamasic people, obviously they have not prepared it as service to God. If it is prepared as service to God, it is fresh, pleasing to, pleasing to eat, attractive, pleasing to eat, and having proper taste, right? But this is like a leftover. It's outside for a long time and not suitable for offering to Paramatma, offering to God, and that is eaten. And when we are eating that, it is eating sin. So tamasic people who are eating this kind of food are actually eating sins. Okay, the food that is not suitable for yajna. Okay, there is a process, in for offering in yajna, proper homam, right? There is a process that they need to follow. That and any food that is not fresh, that is not that lost its taste, all that is not typically offered as part of yajna. That is taking the yajna as that homam activity itself. But in a generic meaning, yajna is any activity that is done as service to God. So when food is not prepared as service to God, that is tamasic. Okay, and we eat that. It gives us or raises tamas in us. Okay, so when we are preparing the food and also when we are eating the food, always say Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. right? Do it as service to God and offer that food to Lord Krishna within us, right? So then it becomes sattvic. Okay. Otherwise, there's no difference, whether we say, whether we feel it or not, it is going into the body, it is generating the energy. But one gives us sattvic tendencies, sattvic personality, leads us to long life, health, and leads us towards liberation. If you don't offer it as service to God, it is eating sins and gives us ignorance and delusion, takes us away from liberation. Simple. Okay. Okay, next sloka. Sloka 11. Please chant. Aphalakankshibhiryajño
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो
फलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञजो
vidhidrustoya ijyate
विधिदृष्टो य
विधिदृष्टो य
युज्यते
युज्यते
yastavyamepeti manaha
यष्टव्यमेवेति
यष्टव्यमेवेति
मनः
मनः
samadhaya satvikaha.
समाधाय स
समाधाय स
सात्विकः
सात्विकः
Let's chant together.
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो
विधिदृष्टो य
विधिदृष्टो य
युज्यते
युज्यते
यष्टव्यमेवेति
यष्टव्यमेवेति
मनः
मनः
समाधाय
समाधाय
स
स सात्विकः।
सात्विकः।
So after talking about food, Lord Krishna is now focusing on yajna. Okay. What kind of again, yajna is of three kinds: sattvic yajna, rajasic yajna, tamasic yajna. And so yajna is performing our duties. Okay. One is whatever is the duty that we have, performing our actions as service to God is yajna. Okay. If we take it as in the meaning of performing our activities, if we are doing our duties, okay, we can do it as sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. So Lord Krishna is first talking about sattvic yajna. Yaha yajnaha ijjate. Whatever yajna is performed, aphala akankshibhihi, by those who have no desire for fruits. Aphala, no, aphala akankshibhihi. They have by those who have no desire for fruits of the result, the fruits or results. Okay. Vidhidrushtaha, as prescribed by scriptures. Yastavyam eveti, whatever yajna is performed, considering it as service to God, thinking in this way, iti, thinking in this way, yastavyam eva iti, manaha samadhaya, having firm mind, right? Saha Satvikaha. Saha, that yajna. Saha can refer to a person or that. It typically is that. So Saha yajna, that yajna. Satvikaha is Satvik. So what is Satvik? Whatever activity, whatever yajna is performed
Offering to God.
by those who are not desiring fruits. Okay. So basically, Sattvic people perform the yajnas like this. Or any yajna that is performed in this way is Sattvic yajna. You can, take it in both ways, right? Sattvic people will perform yajnas as yajnas without desiring fruits. Okay, they're not looking for the results. They are doing it without expectations. Okay, not having attachments to the results, right? And next characteristic is not, no, that is prescribed in the scriptures. So any yajna that is performed, which is given in the scriptures, is sattvic, or sattvic people perform only the yajnas, the duties that are prescribed in the scriptures for them, right? Because Vedas have duties for all kinds of people, but what is the duty that is suitable for us is prescribed also in the scriptures. So only perform those duties and perform them as service to God. Okay, how we need to do it? With a firm mind, resolute mind, right? So not like uh, um, mind keep changing from one to the other, right? They're having firm focus, with no um, you know change, with no
Seven.
vacillating, we call, right? Like should I do it this way or that way, or should I do it as per the scriptures or not? Should I do some other, which is for my benefit I'm doing? There's no such thing. It's always every activity is performed as per the scriptures, what is prescribed in the scriptures, as service to God with no expectations on the result. With that firm mind, if you do, that is sattvic yajna, or yajna that sattvic people like to perform, or the activities that sattvic people like to perform is these type of activities. Okay, or the activities are performed in this way. So we will have a sattvic conviction related to yajna if we are following this principle. Okay. So yajna, I mean, we have to do three kinds of activities in our life: yajna, dana, and tapas, right? So these are the basic things. I mean, everybody has to do this. We cannot miss, right? So very clearly in this particular sloka, Lord Krishna said, very simple, how we need to do our activities. That's all. Okay. If we are doing our activities in this way, we are sattvic. Okay. we have sattvic conviction or sattvic personality. Sloka 12. Come on to Sloka 12. There is no gray area in all these slokas. It is black and white. You can see very clearly, this. It's almost like red, green, and blue. These balls, you can put it in different categories. We can see, of course, we keep changing from one, sattva dominant to rajas dominant to tamas dominant and keep changing. But if we are doing our activities like this, we will maintain our sattvic personality, or we will develop sattvic guna. Okay. So next sloka. Abhisandhayatu phalam
अभिसन्धायतु फलम्
फलम्
dambhardhamapi chaiva yat
दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत्
ijyate bharata srestha
युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ
tam yajñam vidhi rajasam.
तं
तं
यज्ञं
यज्ञं
विद्धि
विद्धि
राजसम्
राजसम्
Let's chant together.
अभिसन्धायतु फलम्
Dambhardhamapi
दम्भार्थमपि चैव
दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत्
ijyate
युज्यते
युज्यते
bharata
भरतश्रेष्ठ
तं यज्ञं
तं
विद्धि
यज्ञं विद्धि
राजसम्
राजसम्.
Okay. So, what is that yajna which is rajasic? Or when would a yajna become rajasic? Lord Krishna is saying, Hey Bharata Shrestha, O Arjuna, but so is differentiating the rajasic yajna from the tamasic yajna. Yat ijjate, that which yajna is performed, phalam abhisandhaya, after aiming for fruits. Right? Dambhardham api cha. Dambha is for show off, ostentation. Okay, so you are looking for the fruits. The reason why you are performing the yajna is to get the result. Okay, not that it is my duty to do, not that I have to do it as service, not that this result is an offering to God, or the result is given to me by God. None of them. Basically, the purpose of doing the yajna is to get the result, looking for the result. Okay. And to show off one of them or both of them. Okay. Eva, only. Tam yajnam rajasam vidhi. Know that yajna is rajasic. Very simple. So if you are doing it with attachment to the results, okay, for our own sake, right? Then it and I'm doing it not as service to God, but in order to show off. Right? Either you are looking for the results because you are in need of the results, or you're looking for some praise and show off. That you want to show your power, your money, your status in the society. Okay, for that purpose, I'm doing the activity. Then it becomes that activity becomes rajasic. That kind of yajna becomes rajasic yajna. Okay. So Sattvic and Rajasic yajnas are both, I mean, they're doing the activities that are prescribed in the scriptures, right? Lord Krishna didn't say these people are doing something that is not in the scriptures, right? But the thinking behind it, how we are doing that activity is what is making the difference. Why we are doing that activity is making the difference, right? They are also doing this great dharmic activities probably, right? But they're doing it as these Rajasic people are doing it as,
Results.
this results are for me or for show off, right? Or if somebody is doing that kind of a dharmic yajna for the sake of show off or for the purpose of result only, then it becomes, that yajna becomes Rajasic. Okay. So one is doing for the purpose of getting the results. Other one is doing as service to God. One who is doing service to God is Sattvic, but the sole purpose is to get the result is Rajasic. Okay. Next sloka, sloka 13. Please chant. Vidhihinamsrushtannam
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नम्
mantrahinamadakshinam
मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणम्
श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं
श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञम्
तामसं परिचक्षते.
तामसं परिचक्षते
Let's chant together.
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नम् मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणम्
विरहितं
श्रद्धाविरहितं
यज्ञं
तामसं
तामसं
परिचक्षते
परिचक्षते.
Okay. When will a yajna become tamasic, or what kind of yajna the tamasic people do? Okay. So vidhihinam, that yajna which is devoid of authorization, not based on scriptural authority. It is not in the scriptures. See, the other two, Sattvic and Rajasic, they are doing the activities that are described in the scriptures. But Tamasic, they are doing the activities that are not based on the scriptural authority. Okay, without authorization. Right? So if the scripture says that, this is how we need to do it, this kind of, qualification that one must have to do the activity, Tamasic people say, why should I listen to it? Why should I follow that? Right? Why can't I do it? Right? There must be some reason behind it, but these people are ignorant and deluded, so they don't understand, or they don't care to understand. Asrushta annam, that is material not earned by righteous means. So they use material that is not earned by righteous means, or material gathered that is not according to the scriptures. Okay, the kind of activity. So first one is the kind of activity is not according to the scriptures, and not having authorization according to the scriptures. Second is the material that they use are not acquired righteous in a righteous way, and it is not prepared as per the scriptures, not gathered as per the scriptures. Mantrahinam. So after deciding what to do, got the material. Now, how do they perform the yajna? Is not having proper mantras. Okay. So whatever I wish, I need, whatever comes to my mind, I will do it. That is how I will do it. Adakshinam. So after doing the yajna, with whatever I think I should be doing, whatever way I think I should be doing without mantras, without proper mantras, without properly chanting them, all that. And then after completing that, adakshinam is without offering dakshina, without offering dakshina. I was trying to see what is the English meaning. Without offering proper remuneration to those people who perform the yajna. Remuneration also may not be the right word. I'll explain all.
I would say donation, and probably donation is the one that comes closest.
Donation also is not correct.
Yeah, it's not correct, but it's just maybe close enough to.
Dakshina, how we need to give the dakshina?
That is
See,
something.
typically, how do we like donate? We donate to people, who don't have the like say somebody doesn't have money, we donate. Somebody doesn't have health, we donate to. Somebody is hungry, we donate. Somebody doesn't have clothes, we donate. Right? That is how our donation. We see that person does not have that what we are giving, and we think that whatever we are giving is useful for them. That is the intention for the donation. Typically, that's how we donate. Donation also sattvic, rajasic, tamasic will come later. But typical thinking or remuneration means you are giving a fee, or you are trying to compensate for the effort that they made. Right? Again, it is incorrect. Or if you are thinking that, I am satisfied with their work, so dakshina, when somebody is giving dakshina, they say, okay, I'm extremely satisfied, I give $100. I'm not that satisfied, I give $50. My satisfaction is important there. Okay, no, not that how the activity was done, or the person, whoever is doing, is authorized to do that particular activity. It's not my satisfaction how that person did. In my view, actually, I don't know that activity is supposed to be done in that way or not, because we are not that knowledgeable in the scriptures, right? So, I mean, this applies to, I'm talking about homam as an activity. You can apply to any, extend, you can extend that as well to any type of duty. But this dakshina is what we typically, a lot of people don't even know that after performing the puja or yajna or homam, if we do not offer the dakshina, then it becomes tamasic yajna. Does not give the right result. So adakshinam, Lord Krishna very clearly said that if that yajna does not have that offering of dakshina to the priest or the whoever has performed that yajna on behalf of us as service to as per the scriptures, let us say, we are supposed to offer the dakshina to them, and we don't offer it, then it becomes tamasic. Okay. So it is not that okay, I already paid X amount of dollars to this person, so I don't have to give dakshina. Okay. Or if I give dakshina to this person, he will misuse it. I mean, any number of reasons that people think of, that they will say, I don't need to offer because I already paid the fee that I'm supposed to give to that organization or to that person. Or kind of, I offer, I go to hotel, I take taxi or some other service, go to salon for haircut. I give dakshina, I give the tip. So this person also did some activity, I need to give the tip. Because I have money, so I have to give a tip. Because typically I'm happy, that's why I give a tip. Or I see that this person doesn't have money. All of that will make the whole thing waste.
Can we say for their dakshata, sir? No.
So we need to offer it as we are offering to
Make them happy.
to Paramatma, right? I'm offering to Paramatma. Okay, so not that I am happy, so I need to give, or this person doesn't have it, I need to give. I have more money, so I need to give. No. So we need to offer the dakshina, as offering to Paramatma, and through whoever has performed, it is reaching Paramatma. It is reaching the devatas that were worshipped in that yajna. Okay. So there is no rule which says how much to give and things like that. At least not Lord Krishna. But if we don't give, that becomes tamasic. That's what we need to remember. And whatever we can offer with wholeheartedly, as if we are offering to Paramatma, we can give that with no strings attached. And next is Shraddha Virahitam, is performed without faith. Okay, I'm performing this activity. I don't know whether I'll get the result or not, but somebody told me I just need to do it. Or all this is, it's a waste. There are so many thought processes that people have. Like I'm forced to do it. I don't like it, but I'm forced. What can I do? Anybody can give examples. So performed without faith. That kind of yajna is called, that yajna is declared as tamasic yajna. Tamasam parichakshate is declared as tamasic. Okay. Any questions on yajnas? Okay.
The thing is the yagnas, right? I know other than pujas, other rituals that were prescribed in scriptures, generally speaking for a layman, right? The duties. Can I say that as a, like, if you take me, like say I'm a married woman with children, like, the basic dharmas that I have to follow, can I say
Yeah.
those things? in a right
Yeah.
way? Okay.
Yeah. So activities that are prescribed for us.
Mm.
Okay. And so first we should not be tamasic, right?
Yeah.
Whatever activity that we are doing, we shouldn't be gathering material that is unrighteous, and then we should um, we should do it as service to God, not for our own sake, not without not without faith. So as service to God with faith, we need to do. Okay, and um, without expecting the results, without showing off, and um, offering dakshina to those who are performing the activities with us. One way to look at it is maybe in the regular, in our day-to-day activities, right? There are a lot of people who are, working for us, working with us, right?
Mm. Yeah.
See, we are performing, we are working in a project. We're doing a project, right? I'm not doing the project by myself, everything.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm a lead, if I'm a leader or sponsorer. A lot of people are working for us, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you offer, the how do you give the
Indeed.
dakshina to those people, right? That's
Mm.
why I'm not saying remuneration, gift, donation.
No, definitely. Credit, their credit.
No. You're humble. You're with a service attitude you're giving. I don't know how many of people who employ other people to do the work for us. They will either hate while giving the money, or they they will try to. I mean, if they're supposed to give $100, try to give only $50. Or um, uh, basically we don't make them happy. Okay. Of course, the people who are doing it, if they're not satisfied with whatever we give, that's another thing, right? No, I'm talking in general terminology, general activities that we do. So any activity that we do, we are doing it with a lot of other people, or other people are working for us. And how do we treat them after doing the work, right? We don't treat them like slaves, or you know or they're workers. I'm an owner, right? They did the activity on behalf of us. They also did a service to God, and they perform the activities in a righteous way, and according to scripture, according to the procedures, right? Whatever needs to be. So with that happiness, with that gratitude, in a humble, service-oriented way, we need to offer whatever we need to offer. So that's about dakshina. I'm trying to apply it to the regular world, right? But usually it's not. In this world, I don't see it's ever happening. Yeah, but that's why it's all tamasic, and sattvic is definitely offering the proper amount to the people who are working for us, are respecting them also. We have to see from Lord Sri Rama, how he behaved with everybody. Okay. So next is Sloka 14. So let's chant 14. Sloka 14. Please chant. Devadvija Guru Prajna
Devadvija Guru
Guru
Prajna
Prajna
Pujanam Sauchamarjavam
Pujanam
Janam
Shauchamarjavam
Shauchamarjavam
Brahmacharya Mahimsa cha
Brahmacharya
Brahmacharya
Mahimsa cha
Mahimsa
Sariram Tapa Uchyate.
Shariram
Shariram Tapa
Tapauchyate
Uchyate
Let's chant together.
Devadvija
Devadvija
Guru
Guru
Prajna
Prajna
Pujanam
Nam
Shauchamarjavam
Shauchamarjavam
Brahmacharya
Brahmacharya Mahimsa
Mahimsa
cha
cha Shariram
Shariram Tapa
Tapauchyate.
Uchyate.
So next Lord Krishna is talking about tapas. There are three types of tapas. Okay. That tapas that is related to body. Tapas is austerity in English. Okay. Some bodily austerity and tapas related to speech, oral austerity, and tapas related to mind. Okay, austerities of mind or mental austerity. So Lord Krishna is explaining what each one of them is. Okay, what is bodily austerity? So in this sloka, Lord Krishna is defining what is bodily austerity. Okay. Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam. This is definition of tapas. Okay, because we don't tapas means I always think some people go to forest and then stood on one leg and then did tapas for 10,000 years, and they got this Brahma or Shiva or somebody, some devata, appeared, and then they blessed. They gave something to them. No, that's not the only tapas. Or doing puja, that's the only thing. No. So Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam. Worship of Devatas. Dvijas is Brahmanas. Guru, Gurus, teachers, Acharyas. Prajna is wise, scholarly people. So worship of Pujanam is worship. So worship of all these people. Saucham is purity, cleanliness. Again, this is related to body. So cleanliness related to body, like taking bath, and or taking holy dip in the holy rivers. That is purity, cleanliness. Arjavam is righteous conduct. Okay, righteous conduct. Brahmacharyam, the activities leading to self-realization. Brahma is here Atma, self. Brahmacharyam, activities that are leading to self-realization. In it's also used in other contexts as well. Like it is not treating women as objects of pleasure, right? So that is brahmacharyam. Not that everybody who is doing the bodily austerities should not be married. Not that. Okay. Now, brahmacharyam. Ahimsa cha is not harming other beings. Okay. Not becoming an instrument or agent that causing harm to others, directly or indirectly. That is ahimsa. Sariram tapa uchyate. So that is said to be bodily austerity. Okay. Mm. So first, Lord Krishna is defining what is, austerity. Austerity is another meaning is self-discipline. What is self-discipline? There is bodily self-discipline, oral self-discipline, mental self-discipline. Explaining all of them here. Okay. Bodily self-discipline or bodily austerity also includes not harming others. Okay. We'll look at sloka 15. Listen. Anudvegakaram vakyam
Anudvegakaram vakyam
patyam priyahitam chayat
satyam
Satyam
priyahitam
priyahitam
chayat
swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva
chaiva bhasanam
Svadhyayabhyasanam
chaiva
chaiva
vangmayam tapa uchyate.
Vamayam
mayam
tapa
tapa
uchyate
uchyate
Listen to here.
Anudvegakaram
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 vakyam
vakyam
satyam
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 priyahitam
priyahitam chayate
chayat
swadhyaya
swadhyayam bhasanam
Adhyayabhyasanam
chaiva
chaiva
mayam
mayam
tapa
tapa
uchyate.
uchyate.
Vangmayam tapa uchyate. So Lord Krishna is defining what is said to be the austerity related to speech. Yat vakyam, that speech, which is anudvegakaram, not offensive, does not cause distress to others. Yeah, that distress, like not speaking in a way that is causing distress to others. Satyam is truthful, truth that is beneficial, fact that is beneficial to others, not that fact that will be harmful for others. Okay, Satyam. Priyahitam is agreeable, pleasing, and beneficial, comforting. Swadhyaya abhyasanam, study of scriptures. Okay, so whatever speech that we are having right now is tapas also, because we are studying the scriptures, right? So studying Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Bhagavatam, or any scriptures, right? Study of scriptures, chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, all are tapas. Okay, Vangmayam tapa uchyate. That speech is that austerity is related to speech. Important here is not offensive, does not cause distress to others. To be careful. Okay. Look at 16. what is mental austerity related to mind. Okay. Please chant. Manah prasada saumyatvam
मनःप्रसादः सौम्यत्वं
Saumyatvam
maunamatma vinigraha
मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः
bhava samsuddhirityetat
भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत्
Bhavasamsuddhirityetat
tapo manasamuchyate.
तपोमानसमुच्यते
Tapomanasamuchyate
Chant together.
मनःप्रसादः
Manaprasadasamyatvam
सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः
Maunamatmavigraha Bhavasamsuddhirityetat
भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते
Tapomanasamuchyate.
Tapo manasamuchyate. So Lord Krishna is saying that austerity is related to mind. I'm not able to stop sharing for some reason. Okay. Okay. Manaha prasadaha. Calmness, peaceful, balance, temper, free from anger, desire, delusion, pride, greed, of mind. Manaha is of mind. Prasadaha is that. I mean, typically we take prasadam in the temple, right? What is prasadam? Why is it called prasadam?
It's God's grace, Paramatma's.
Or the buddhi.
That which is offered to Paramatma is, of course, and that we are receiving, right? So anything that is offered to Paramatma removes all the
Bad things, evil.
bad things from it, impurities,
Yeah.
not the physical impurities I'm
Yeah.
talking about, right? So it would not have things like somebody prepares the food with whatever intentions in the mind that they prepare that food, with anger, with greed, with lot of disturbance in the mind, with while speaking very harshly, angrily, and or while crying, or I'm talking about, these are not unhealthy things, right? But these are um, emotional things related to mind. I'm not talking about like when they are sick, when they are having fever. No, that's not the one I'm talking about. That also, that we can think of. But thing is, any food that is prepared uh, with such intentions will have bad effects on us if we consume. Okay. So any food that is offered as service to, that is prepared as offering to God, and any food that is offered to God will not have those doshas, those dosha. What is the English word?
I think impurities.
Dosha defect. Okay.
Defects. Yeah. Those issues, defects are not there in that, right?
Negative.
So that food is beneficial for us. Will not cause us. Somebody prepares it while being very angry, and if it is not purified, then that food may give us anger, distress in us. I don't know if somebody scientifically proves it, then people will believe it, but it is true. It is a well-known fact. So if it is offered to Paramatma and we take that food, it actually will not cause us all these disturbances. So when it doesn't cause all these disturbances, it is keeps our mind stable, calm, peaceful. That is the prasadam, the one that yeah, the whatever uh, food that is offered to Paramatma and we took it, which gives the end result when we consume it as service to as an offering to God within us. It gives us mental peace, will not cause us disturbances. So let's say we are having a lot of disturbance, anxieties about work, about money, about health, about relationships, or how people are treating us, and all those things, right? When we go to temple and take the prasadam, we are actually suppressing all the feelings that are in us, which they should not come up. But unfortunately, we don't realize, we don't take it that way. If we take it that way, then we will feel happy. How much money will you give for that kind of food, which cannot be guaranteed by any medicine in this world, right? But people don't take it. People don't take it with that intention. So anyway, so mana prasada is the uh, mind that is calm, peaceful. Okay, saumyatvam. So we're talking about mind related to mind, right? Austerity related to mind. Saumyatvam is thinking about good of others, always wishing happiness for others. Okay. Maunam. Maunam is silence. Not speaking is what we may think, but speaking only when it is necessary. Okay. Keeping quiet and speak when necessary. Don't speak unnecessarily. Okay. Atma vinigraha, self-restraint. Focus on objects of meditation. Bhava samsuddhi, purity of purpose. So not thinking about things that are not related to Atma. See, we are talking about mental austerity, right? Physical austerity is keeping the body clean. Mental austerity is kind of keeping the mind clean and focused on the right things in right direction. Not talking unnecessarily, not shouting at people, right? Always see we think of if we are thinking about good to happen to others, sarve jana sukhina bhavantu. That is mental austerity. Um, so everyone, all beings in this world should be, happy, safe, peaceful, right? That is the intention if we are developing in our mind. It is mental austerity. Whether it will happen or not, it's not in our hand, right? You know, people may think, oh, if I think that it is going to happen, and it may or may not happen, But that is the tapas that we are doing, thinking about good to happen to others, like always remembering that is mental tapas. Okay. So that is sloka 16. So we talked about the yajnas. So we talked about foods of three kinds, or the kinds of food that sattvic, rajasic, tamasic people like to eat. And we know what kind of food we need to eat. We talked about yajnas, sattvic yajna, rajasic yajna, tamasic yajna. And we know how to do yajna, or any activity as service to God, how to do it. And we talked about tapas. We didn't talk about sattvic tapas, rajasic tapas, like that. Okay. The tamasic tapas we didn't talk about. We understood what is tapas, because a lot of people don't know. So Lord Krishna explained that to us, and how to perform that tapas. All these, the tapas related to body, body, speech, and mind are we need to perform. Okay, and how we perform is what makes sattvic, tamasic, rajasic. So that Lord Krishna will explain later. Okay, any questions? Okay, no questions. We'll conclude with the concluding prayer. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणाय समर्पयामि सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः
Jai Shri
जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Thank you.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण थैंक यू अंडी थैंक यू
Jai
सो
Shri
मच
Manara, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण